Hello, my name is Tracy Allen, and I want to welcome you to Cooking with Some Friends. Hello and welcome to Cooking with Some Friends. I am going to make one of the recipes that for this month we're doing Alaskan recipes, and I'm going to do some stuffed hash browns, which is an Alaskan recipe. Now hash browns actually got their start in New York City in the 1800s, but with the gold rush and people migrating to Alaska, they went ahead and that's where the hash browns moved on. So the stuffed hash browns just make them more hearty. So I have some bacon that I've crumbled and cooked. You could use ham instead. I have scrambled some eggs, and you don't have to add those. I've got some pepper jack cheese that I shredded up, and you don't have to use pepper jack. You could use any other kind of cheese that you prefer. A little bit of onion, and then some oil that I'm going to cook it in. So I'm going to add my onion to my hash browns, and you need to use the refrigerated hash browns, not the freezer hash browns, but the refrigerator ones. And this is a 20-ounce package. And then to that, I'm also going to add some salt and pepper. And I want to stir that together to get those onions incorporated into it and the flavoring of the salt and pepper. Okay. And my skillet is heating, and I'm going to do this. This will serve 4 people or make 4 servings, but you do them individually. So then I want to take a little bit of my oil and put it into my pan and let that heat up. And I'm going to take a spatula, a cup of my potato mixture, that I'm going to put this into my pan, and then I'm going to flatten it out with my spatula. And then I'll let this cook for several minutes until it browns on one side, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do to it before I flip it. Put my potatoes in, flatten them out with my spatula. And you want to get them fairly flat because you want them to cook through. Okay, and then I'll let those cook until they start to brown on the other side. Okay, I'll let my hash browns cook on that one side for about 5 minutes. Then I drizzled it with about another teaspoon of oil, and now I'm going to let it cook for another 4 or 5 minutes on this side. At that point, I can go ahead and put in my cheese and my bacon and my potatoes or my eggs and fold that over, and that will be our Alaskan stuffed hash browns. So we're just waiting for those to cook through. Okay, let's go ahead and sprinkle with some of our cheese, just on 1/2. Sprinkle with some of our bacon, same half, and then put some of our scrambled eggs on it. Like I said before, the eggs are totally optional. And then all you have to do is let that cook a second, and then we'll fold it over. And if it's not gorgeous, you're okay. Hello, welcome to Cooking with Some Friends. We are My husband always waves at me when I start that way. He's in the living room. Anyway, we're gonna have some chicken chimichangas for supper, and my oil is heating. You can do this in the oven. They take about 25 minutes to bake if you brush them with oil, 425. But I'm gonna do it an even quicker way. I'm gonna fry them when I'm done making them. So in my bowl, I have a 16-ounce can of refried beans. And the history behind, this is one of those Arizona recipes, and the history behind chimichangas, they really began around the 1920s in Tucson at a restaurant. The chef, it was totally by accident, the chef, the story goes anyway, that she dropped one of the burritos into the deep fat fryer and started saying some bad words in Spanish, and it sounded similar to chimichanga, so that's where it got its name. So anyway, but we just call them chimichangas, and I don't know what the swear words were, and I'm glad I don't. So my refried beans, I have those. To that, I'm gonna add a half a cup of salsa and a can of chopped green chilies. And this is a 4-ounce can. And then I'm going to put in a spice mix, and I have 1/8 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper and a teaspoon of cumin, 1 1/4 teaspoons of garlic powder, a half a teaspoon of dried oregano, 1 teaspoon of chili powder. That's gonna go in. And then I also want to put in about 1 cup of shredded Mexican blend cheese. And this is that fine shred, so it mixes better. And then I cooked my chicken, and you can fry it. You could probably use rotisserie chicken, or you can bake it, whatever, if you have leftover chicken. It's about 2 cups of cooked and shredded chicken. Needs to go in the bowl. So I'm going to mix all that up, and then I'm going to take about anywhere from 1/4 to 1/2 of a cup of this chicken mixture and put it in the middle of a tortilla, a flour tortilla, and then fold it over and then roll it. I'll show you how I do that in just a second. So there is our meat mixture. My tongue's ready. Take my tortilla. Take some of my meat mixture. Put it right in the center. And then I want to fold both in. And I kind of want to roll that in, both ends. And there is our chimichanga. So when my oil is hot, and I think this pretty much is, I'm going to put seam side down and let that cook. And every 30 seconds or so, I'm going to turn these. It's got to have time to brown, but it also has to have time to warm up the ingredients that are on the inside. Do another one. And you can serve these with sour cream, guacamole, more salsa, whatever you normally would put on your tacos. You could put lettuce over them. That one's pretty full. Yeah, I filled that one too full. I'm gonna set it aside. Just keep going, and I'll keep flipping them every so often until they're not only browned, but the insides are warmed. if you're putting these in the oven in your baking dish, you want to make sure the seam side is down as well. Thanks for joining us for this session of Cooking with Some Friends. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And find us on Facebook at Cooking with Some Friends.